Welcome to my session. Thank you for coming. And before I start, I'd like to ask you, are you enjoying the conference so far? Do you like the now road? Okay, great. So, today we are going not only to talk, but we are going to develop together. And it's up to you what we want to develop. But first, let's start. How many of you have developed Java applications? Even Hello World. Okay, so how many of you attended my session on Forge 1 and SAP Hana Cloud Platform last year? Okay, and leave your hands up if you have used Forge after that. Great. Okay, so today we are going to talk about Forge 2 and again SAP Hana Cloud Platform. But before that, let me talk about Java a little bit. Is there anyone among you developing in Java 1.4? It used to develop in Java 1.4. Okay, so you know the pain. In Java 5, things became even easier, Java 6 even easier, but you still had to remember all these little things like persistence XML configuration, or what annotation should I use for one-to-many, many-to-many, many-to-one annotations in JPA, or you have to develop all that crude operations, like select from the database, find something there, insert something to the database. So you have to still develop it. And when it comes to JSF, you have to develop all those facelets by hand. So it's not an easy job, right? How many of you have used, I know Val has, how many of you have used the SAP Hana Cloud command line client? So leave your hands up if you know by heart the command to deploy to the cloud. Okay. So I'm here to show you now how you can develop a Java application and deploy it into the cloud, the SAP Hana Cloud, without looking up Google, without looking up help files, without looking up anything, without even using your artifacts from existing projects that you used to do before. And how we are going to do it? We are going to use Forge. What is JBoss Forge? JBoss Forge is an open source tool. It works on the command line. Those of you that have seen my presentation last year know that I typed it on the command line. But in Forge 2 it integrates with your favorite IDE. At the moment it's just Eclipse, but soon we are going to have support for NetBeans and for IntelliJ IDEA. And with Forge you can easily develop your Java applications, and easily you can deploy them in any cloud, not only in SAP HANA Cloud Platform. But today we are at SAP Developer Conference, so we're going to deploy them into the SAP HANA Cloud. So, I was told by our organizers that I have to have slides. So I have one slide. I hope you are fine with that. Okay, so let's go. Before we start, I'd like to make a promise to you. I will not search Google for anything. I will not look up my textbooks about Java, even my lectures in the university about Java. I will not use artifacts from existing projects. I will just use Forge and the IDE. So, what application do you want to develop? Java application. Bar management. What? Bar management, okay. Great. So, what do we have in the bar management? We have a bartender and we have orders, right? Let's, as we don't have too much time, let's keep it a little bit simpler, because we have soccer players visiting the bar. Yeah. So let's start. I'm going to launch it's simple. It's just Java Eclipse IDE. It doesn't have anything installed in it. It doesn't have SAP plugins. It doesn't have anything proprietary. It's just the Java IDE, of course, plus the Forge plugin. So when I click Control 5, we have this pretty neat console where I can type, for example, project, and it filters the possible commands for me. I'll use the project new command, and now I have to enter the project name, so bar management. Okay, let's keep it simple. Let's keep it just bar. Okay, bar. And I can here choose what type of application I want to develop. I'll stick to the default Java web application, and also what build system I want to use. At the moment, Forge supports Maven and Gradle, but maybe some of you want to develop a JPro plugin. I don't know. Good luck. You know what JPro is? Good for you. Okay, so what happens here? Forge will create my project and will import it into the IDE. Does it look like something familiar at the moment? Have you used Maven archetypes? So, what do you know about Maven archetypes? It creates a project and generates a lot of garbage. Yeah? What do we have here? We have just one POM XML, nothing else. And the POM XML inside, it has just some compiler and builder plugins, nothing else. Great. By the way, you may ask questions throughout the whole session, and you will, for the best questions, the best 3 questions, we'll get these 3 codes for the gamification. And if nobody asks a question, I'll give them to Stoyan so that he can win the gamification. Okay, so we created our project. We want to persist our stuff in the database, right? And what do we have in Java EE to persist stuff in the database? What do we use? What do we use? JPA, great. So let's set up JPA. What do we need for JPA? We need the dependency, and we need persistence XML, right? So we have the JPA. By the way, now when I'm in the context of a project, when I click Control 5, I have much more commands. I'm going to stick to the JPA command, JPA setup. And for container, I'm going to use, no, not Oracle, but rather SAP Hana Cloud Platform. Then for provider, the default provider for the default persistence provider for SAP Hana Cloud Platform is Link. So I'm going to use that. Next, I'm going to stick to the defaults and click Finish. So if I open again my POM XML, you see that it got the dependency without me looking and writing anything. And if I open the persistence XML, I have to find first. You see that everything is created by Forge already. Even the default JTA data source for SAP Hana Cloud Platform. I'm going to delete this line here because, as you might know, on the local runtime, SAP Hana Cloud Platform uses Derby database, while in the cloud it uses MaxDB or HANA, whatever you have chosen. So I'm going to delete this line to not confuse lead Java server. Okay, I set up JPA. Now it's time to create our entities, right? So for bar management, we said that okay, we'll have a bartender, and let's have an order. And the bartender has many orders, right? Okay. Let's start Forge again, Control 5. We have to remember this. And write entity, okay, JPA new entity. Then the entity name is bartender. And okay. Let me see what Forge did for me. So So I have an entity, JPA entity. I have all these annotations that I usually look up in the internet or in my manuals, and I even have this field for optimistic locking. Great. Now let's add some fields to this. Bartender. Field command, yeah. And then the field name. Bartender has a name, right? It's a type string, blah blah. And bartender has an age. Nobody cares what the age of the bartender is, but I can't think about another field. So age, and the age is of type integer. I just have to click here. You know this type selection dialog. You've used Eclipse, right? Right, Voldo? Use Eclipse. Okay. Okay, so what do we got? We got the two columns, the name and age column. We have the nifty getters and setters. And for our colleagues that, especially Nikki, that like this type of code conventions, with the opening parentheses on the other row, not parentheses, but yeah. I said it and it's fine. So yeah, the next thing that I'm going to do is create the other entity. And this entity is the order, right? If I leave it like this, what will be the result? We'll have automatically in the database a table which name will be order, right? Because of the convention over configuration in JPA. But in some, if not all databases, order is not a good word for a table name because it's a keyword or reserved word. So I'm going to fill here that I want my table to be called orders. By the way, do you see it on the back?
Yeah.
Okay. And what do I got? I got the same entity, table, named orders, and all these cool fields here. Let me add here some more fields. An order can have a waiter that is fulfilling it. I'm not creating the waiter entity here because we don't have time. We just have time for 2 entities, sorry.
If you were using the JPA diagram,
The JPA diagram, but it's proprietary, right?
it's open source.
Ah, great. Next time I'm going to show a demo about JPA diagram. Okay, not field name, so waiter. And order, the order can have a bartender that issued the order. And a bartender can issue many orders. So what is the relationship here? From order, what is the relationship? You are teaching JPA in university. From the order to the bartender, what is the relationship? Many to one. Yes, great, thank you. And is it bidirectional or unidirectional? I want to be bidirectional because I want to show something that Forge does. Okay, so I'm going to create field in the order entity, and its name is bartender. The field type is bartender. And it's many to one, right? Many orders by one bartender. Okay. Now here, if it is a bidirectional relationship, which means that the bartender should know all their orders, I will write here inverse field name. So this will be the field that will be created in the order, in the bartender entity. And the cascade type, we don't have time to think about the cascading, so select all. What do I have now? I have in my order entity, I have the bartender field with many-to-one notation. And let's go to the bartender class. We have there one-to-many, which is a set of orders. Great. Now, we are ready with our data model. Let's start to write some business logic. So now I have to write methods for creating, deleting, updating orders, creating, deleting, updating bartenders, right? I'm going to use persistence manager, so it's fast. I don't have to know SQL, but still, it takes time. Next, I have to write JSF facets. Fun. But I don't have time, so I'm going to get a green flag. So we'll have to think about something different. Let's use something called scaffolding. What is scaffolding? It's a process where you just have your data model, and the scaffolding process will create everything for you. The CRUD operations and the facets or the view, whatever view you like to use. So we have a setup command in Forge. I'm going to use the JSF, but you can use AngularJS, and if someone of you contributes, SAP UI5 for view technology. Then here are the different Java technologies that I will use in my scaffolding. I'm going to stick to the defaults. And it will take some time because now Forge will download, will add to the POM XML of my file all the dependencies to all these technologies, and if necessary will download the whole internet because it's made on. But I have downloaded the whole internet already, so everything is set up. Now I have my dependency set up. Let's generate the scaffolding. So here are my entities. I want to generate CRUD operations, business logic for every one of them. Click finish. And at the end, what we are going to have, we are going to have a new package called view, where I have what? I have stateful enterprise Java beans, which are also JSF beans in the conversational scope. But we don't have time for lessons, for lectures on EJB, JSF, and so forth. We can come to the Sofia University, to the Faculty of Mathematics and Informatics this semester for those. Now we have to deploy our application. Where are we going to deploy it? To the SAP Hana Cloud, right? So let's go and set up for Forge our SAP Hana Cloud. First, I have to enter the directory where I have downloaded and extracted SAP Hana Cloud. So I've done it here, but you may do it wherever you like. Then I have to enter my username and my account name and click finish. Now, if you notice, my installation doesn't have a local server. It's on the right, in the right panel. It doesn't have a local server installed, so Forge also noticed that and will do it for me. Yeah, now I have a server. It uses OSGI and P2 for this, which is great. Just kidding.
There will be another one that launches.
Okay. In 2 years maybe? Ah, great. I'll come. Okay, now I have my application developed. I have SAP Hana Cloud Platform, at least the local environment set up. I have my local server there. Now let me start the local server. Oh, you see some more commands here. So I started the local runtime. At least I issued a command to start it. And now let me deploy my application on the local server. Wow, I forgot something. I forgot to build it. So we are using Maven, so we have to ask Maven to build it. But we are lazy, don't remember Maven commands. So let's ask Forge to do it for us. Come on, Forge, do it for me. I'll buy your beer after the conference. Okay, build success, and now let me deploy locally my application. Deployed successfully. It's nothing more than copying my var into the pickup folder. Yeah, it's here. So let me go to the So let me see whether I get internal server error or I have something. It takes some time, so it works. Yeah, great. That's my application. Of course, you can change this front end here, but so let me add a bartender. It takes time the first time. I promise you, only the first time. Why? You tell me. It's in the Lean Java server. No. Now it's Lean Java server. Forge is done. Now you may come to the here and answer the questions. Yeah. Okay, great. Now I create a new bartender. Come on. Okay. With name, which is Ivan, and age 22. It's not me, it's another Ivan. Yeah, and let's add some orders. So the waiter is Vlado, and bartender is Ivan, the other Ivan. Save it. Sorry. Yeah, I expected it, by the way. Okay, anyway. I promised to deploy to the cloud, right? And I promised you not to have to remember all those parameters of the deploy command when you use the SAP Hana Cloud Platform command line client. What a long sentence. Let's go to my bar. Okay, let me first go to the to my cockpit. It's in the internet. It's in the cloud. Sorry? It's in ROT. Ah, sorry. So you see that I don't have deployed any Java applications yet. Let me fix this. So I'll call the deploy command, and yeah, I have to enter my password because otherwise the 45 scans will not let me pass if I keep my password on the local store. You know 45? What 45 is? Sorry. Okay, what's going on now? Forge is deploying my application to the cloud, and I'm expecting the green flag.
You did receive one.
Okay. I'm pretty ready. Ah, it's here. And it stopped. Yeah, it's starting the remote application. Okay, because as this takes time, I will will urge you to ask questions now. There's a question here.
We saw that when Forge generated the relationship architecture, it used the set.
Yeah.
Can you configure it to use collection?
So the question is that Forge created a set when creating a JPA dependency, it used a set. No, it's not configurable.
You can contribute.
Yeah, you can, sure.
Two questions.
Okay.
First one, can you deploy on other landscapes that trial? Because I did not see a code.
So the question is, can you deploy on other landscapes than trial? At the moment, the host is hard-coded into the add-on. But we may change it, we may add it as another field in the dialog. And the other question?
Second question, more thing. You said about UI5 contribution. There's SAP code gateway that is similarly building automatically UI5 UIs based on all data, which is again a data source.
Okay.
And you could eventually ask them how they did it and can they contribute UI5?
Okay, great idea, yeah. Yeah, great idea. Thanks. Yeah, questions from Kiro.
I'm not much into the GSM part of the class, but do you have some other close presentation? Generate my GSM and side goals, so the user will not be able to implement.
Okay, so is there validation in the JSF? I'm not sure. Maybe not. These are just templates, and the templates are used to generate the view, but I have to check it.
There was a common for validation or something.
Okay, but it's the beam validation which is on the JTA level, not in the JSF. Yeah, it's on the whole spectrum. So we saw that help can create a new project, can help us with an existing project. Absolutely. The only thing is that this existing project should use one of the built technologies, Maven or Gradle. If it is your made project or handmade project or Jatro, Forge can't help you yet with this, but it can help you. Yeah. If it's a Maven project, no problem. No. Forge doesn't generate even class path files. Yeah, there is a server adapter, but it's SAP proprietary, and here I don't want to use proprietary code because Forge you can use for developing in other IDEs, not only Eclipse. And in NetBeans there is no server adapter yet.
But it's Ivanov, so you have the addon to start the local server in the SDK, right?
Yeah. Actually, I'm using the command line, the Neo script. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe last question.
Why did you get internal server at the Genetics? Is it because of the database?
I saw it yesterday for the first time, and it's something in Open EJB or Open JPA. I didn't have time to investigate. But we have here Open EJB contributor, so we'll discuss it. Okay, let me see what happened here. Why is the cloud so slow today, Stoyu? What are you doing now there? Okay, let me click here. And okay. Two more questions. Well, yeah, it's here, great. So, yeah, it's the same UI, just in the cloud. So if you don't have any more questions, or if you have them, don't be shy, come here, yeah, one question from her. No. So I have to show something else. Yeah, if you want to contribute, and on this page, on this GitHub page, you can see how you can install both Forge and the plugin on your local system, and you can contribute if you wish.